Yeah, I gotta vlog
Tasha,
this.
where we at?
We're doing a duo vlog, guys. We took her to the vet. On the bright side, they said that they think it's just like a respiratory thing, and it sounds worse than what it is.
Yeah, but they didn't. She
And
didn't
they
say
said
she
her
thinks.
lungs,
She said
she knows.
yeah.
she said
everything
her,
sounds great.
And she said her lungs are good. Her heart rate is even good.
She said her heart sounded strong.
Yes, I was like
all
but
good
I
stuff.
think all of our dogs are sick.
Because
This is what I'm thinking.
they're doing like that reverse.
Yeah.
I can't ever say that right.
Reverse sneeze cough thing or whatever. But hers sounds like that. But I was like, I looked at Brian. I'm like, we ain't playing around. We're calling the vet and we're taking her now. So yeah, I'm glad. Now they're gonna put her on another antibiotic though.
And
so
a cough suppressant, which I like, because I feel like that raspiness is probably like her throat just being
irritated.
You know, like when you get a cold and you just keep coughing and coughing and coughing.
And now I gotta go to work, guys. Mother F. It's fine.
Depending on how much it is. Hey, Tasha. Say hi.
Say, Mom, I'm doing fine. You're a helicopter, Mom.
I ain't a helicopter dad, who again was...
I looked at Brian earlier and I was like, this was this morning. I'm like, But it's weird though, because like I said, she'd lay down, her breathing.
She's 100% normal, except this cough.
More pill.
Poor thing. If it helps, it helps.
God. Boy, oh boy.
My grandma had to take a lot of pills when she got old, and she lived for a long time on the pills.
I don't know. I'm confident.
Yeah.
Hold on. When she comes in, ask her. So where do we go from here? Ask her that. Like
probably just play it by ear. Okay, guys. So we just left the vet. Give a little backstory because, as you for very understandable reasons, this time I wasn't worried about filming. So today is basically exactly a week since we took Tasha. Well, I don't want to say we. Shelby did all that stuff, thankfully. It's been a week. Today is Thursday, so like essentially tonight after Shelby gets off work would be like exactly a week from when her and Jake rushed her to the the animal hospital. The first day she was tired, kind of like lethargic as you'd expect, not really eating too much. The second day she was like, very good, very similar to her old self, eating a little bit more. The third day, she was a little more tired than the other couple days, but, still ate, still, was going around fine and whatnot. Yesterday and, the day before, she was, 1,000% herself, doing so phenomenal. Yesterday she sneezed. I don't want to say a lot, but a little bit more than what I would say is probably normal. And then today she's been doing that cough that you guys heard in the other clips, and it sounds rough. You can't argue with me there. It sounds nasty. So we immediately she did it. I kind of assume our house is a little bit dry right now, humidity wise. When we have our furnace on, the house kind of dries out. So I was she's sound asleep, she's snoring, she sleeps with her mouth, probably breathing through her mouth a lot. So her, throat's probably just agitated right when she wakes up, and that's why. No, she said that has nothing to do with it. She said right off the bat, before she even was poking and prodding at poor Tosh, the vet said it really sounds like an upper respiratory thing, which is good. It's bad, but is good. Definitely I guess what you would want out of the two, scenarios. And basically, so she was poking around, she was taking her pulse and listening to her heart and listening to her breathing, and she said her breathing sounds great. She's her lungs sound great, there's no any sort of weird noises that would indicate any fluid in her lungs and stuff like that, and just all kinds of good stuff. I bear with me here, I apologize, because they say so much in such a short period of time that I'm could he say that all again? But all good stuff. she said, she's like, her heart sounds so strong. She's like, her heart sounds great. So we're just like, what the F, you know? You know, like, is it like, does she not have congestive heart failure? Does she? So what she's doing, she said there's a bug going around, which is, you know, what I was telling you guys. I was like, I did hear, you know, a lot of dogs are getting like sick right now. And she said, she's like, you know, there's a thing called like kennel cough, which, you know, because our dogs, they really just stay at home. You know, we don't take them out in public and stuff like that. You know, they're inside our house and they're in our, you know, backyard. But our neighbor's dog, like, we do have dogs behind us, like, which is just like a chain link fence, you know, separating them. Not blaming them for anything, but, you know, that would be like the only animals they have contact with. But she said whatever, you know, this cough is that's going around is airborne, you know, like, you don't have to like come in contact or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, okay. I was like, you know, it definitely like makes sense. And Bailey and Coco for the last couple days have been doing I don't think a lot of dogs do this, but it's a backwards sneeze. I think it's more of something for dogs that have like the, you know, kind of messed up snouts, you know, like Tasha, like pugs. It's this thing where they like, it's almost like a snort, but it's like, you'll see their head like going like this when it's happening. And it's I don't want to make the noise because it literally hurts my throat even trying to imitate it. But Bailey and Coco and Tasha does it too. Once in a while, you know, once a month, maybe, something like that, give or take. But Bailey and Coco have been doing it a lot for the past, like, I would say 2 to 3 days, like a lot, like an alarming rate. And I told Shelby, like we talked about it earlier, like, if they keep doing this, like if this keeps up, which just, I was trying to blame it on, you know, our house being dry, because I'm like, you know, it just sounds like their throats are dry, and they're like, you know, they need to like take a drink or something. But I told Shelby, I'm like, you know, if they keep doing this, like, we're gonna make a vet appointment for them to get checked up too. But it sounds like all 3 of our dogs have whatever this cough is, and like, basically it sounds like it's the same thing between what all 3 of them have. I don't know, that might sound dumb or whatever, but that's kind of what she summed it up to be. So whatever they have, poor thing, sounds like all 3 of them got it, but it sounds like it's just, you know, basically like the equivalent of like a human, you know, getting a cold. It should just pass on its own. She did give us another antibiotic for Tasha, and she actually recommended that we lower her dose of the heart pill that she's on. I don't know the name of it. It's a weird name. I believe it starts with an F, but it's supposed to like, I believe it, like, it's supposed to like strengthen the heart muscles. So I don't know if it's like some sort of steroid or something, but she actually recommended that we go on a lower dose of that, which we have to go get filled. And then she gave us so she said Tasha's on like a low dose already, but she said, like, basically judging like the way her heart sounded, that we could probably lower the dose even more, because I guess, you know, giving her too much of that can actually be problematic in the long run. You know, it can cause like some other like issues. She's like, you know, we'd like to lower it, see if she responds well to that. And then, you know, basically like if we noticed any symptoms that she had like coming back, then obviously we would up the dose again. But, you know, the lady was so respectable. It was Suburban, I think it's Suburban Animal Clinic or Suburban Vet Clinic. We've had, I don't want to say we've had a bad experience with them in the past, but they weren't our preferred vet. But every time we have had like an emergency like this, you know, during their normal hours, they've been able to get us in like immediately. Whereas our preferred vet, I guess you would say, you know, like where Tasha had her puppies and like where Bailey got fixed, every time we want to make an appointment with them, it's like a week plus out. And like even today, we called them first, so we have an appointment for Tasha on Monday for like a follow-up for this. And we called Monday, like this past Monday, and we called and she's like, well, the earliest we can get her in is Monday afternoon, which was still a few more days from now. And we're like, oh my God, you know, so it kind of sucks, you know, like all these vets, like, and today she said, you know, we we don't even have the doctor in today, you know, to even see her, so we could get her in tomorrow. And we're just like, I mean, why, you know, like, it's like going to the emergency room and then being like, oh, you know, we can get you in, but like, we don't have any doctors here. It's like, I don't know. I find that kind of weird. Like, I don't know what, you guys comment down below, like, because I'm genuinely curious, like, what's the vet situation like, you know, where you guys are? Because we don't have like a lot of vets around here. And it seems like the ones we do have, they're like, I feel like they open at like 9 in the morning and they close at like 3 in the afternoon. Like, I'm exaggerating, but like, it feels like they're barely open. And then when they are open, because they're open so little, they're completely booked for just so long. And I'm just like, I feel like since COVID, like, this is a new thing. Like, it never used to be like this. But, yeah, so anyways, like, aside from that rant, she said Tasha's doing great. Like, this isn't really anything to be alarmed by. Obviously, if it doesn't clear up in the next, you know, week or so, then, you know, we need to bring her back in. But she's giving us that cough suppressant, and I don't know what it is, but we go to like Kroger Pharmacy and get that filled. I don't know, like, if that's normal. That's just, I thought there was like, I didn't know, you know, like human pharmacies, you know, stocked animal stuff. And then she was like, well, she's like, truthfully, a lot of animal medicine is just human medicine. I was like, no kidding, I never knew that. So that was interesting to find out. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get that filled. Thank God Shelby was able to make it. She does have to go to work, and I think she's gonna get there just on time, but she even called her boss and was like, you know, I might be a few minutes late, and they were totally cool with it. But yeah, so update on Tasha. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bedroom's going great still. I did another coat of paint, so I'm on 4 thick coats now, and waiting for that 4th one to dry. We'll see how that goes. But alright guys, I will see you in the next video.